Okay, I started streaming again.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
It's it's not the easiest ever, but I mean it's not impossible. I think most people just can't drive. I was in
I was in
someone's boat earlier. They
someone's
said
boat
that they were not
earlier.
able to
They
drive
said
the
that
boat
they
well.
were not able to
They're not
drive
good
the
at
boat
driving.
well. They're
It's
not
like
good at
yeah,
driving.
case for every
Like, yeah,
month.
I get case
And
for
they
every
said they were
month.
gonna beat the boat.
They said they were going to beat
Later
the
they
boat.
crashed the
Later
shore.
they crashed the shore.
well,
I'm not
it's
like that great
I'm
of a
not
driver,
like that great of a driver,
but I was able to pull the boat off
but
the
I was
shore and
able to
drive the
pull the
boat.
boat off the shore and drive the boat.
it seems that I made a bit of a mess out of my ship. Not exactly sure why I lost power.
It sounds like you have some issues driving.
It sounds like you have some issues.
I have a lot of issues. Um, there's nothing in my backpack, so I'm wondering how long I've been here. My engines seem to be off. I've got power because my survival kit's still going. My batteries, my gyros have power, but my batteries don't. What's going on? My hydrogen tanks don't have power. That's new. Where'd that battery come from? Huh. Well, all the stuff is still there. Yep. Okay, so let's get this going. See about repairing the ship. Last I knew, the mining platform was somewhere nearby. Oh yeah, 10 kilometers away. Okay, so oxygen generators, or oxygen tank. Okay. I don't have any oxygen or hydrogen tanks. So I have to make it over to the mining platform. Lost all my drills. That may be an issue. How's that? That was good. That was good. Thrusters seem okay. So why don't I have power? it says I got power. Drills. Okay, the hydrogen thrusters are off. Are they all working? Yeah, it's working. Oh no, they're not. They didn't need to be repaired. What's going on there? Okay. So check the batteries. Oh, they're on recharge. Okay. So so I got 9 minutes. Okay. Alright. So let's go ahead and try to make it to the mining platform. I'll sort out the rest later. I'm still not quite sure. The hydrogen engine's working. And they're working. So I guess that's why they're on recharge. Am I out of ice or something? Okay, well that's a little more power. The batteries got turned off. Okay. So how come I can't see the mining platform? Might be on the other side of that asteroid. Maybe in the asteroid. Oh, there she is. Yeah, there she is. What an ugly looking piece of junk.
Get the spare.
Get the spare.
Well, that's a mining platform. It's a large grid, a hangar bay, and a couple of jump
No,
drives.
I mean your ship right there.
No, I mean your ship right there.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Well, initially, this is the large grid that the small grid that I'm flying came from originally. This is a slightly modified version of it, but it's still the same ship. But it's been God knows how long since I've been back to this ship, and it's not quite like I remembered it. And I'm not sure why, but it appears to be attached to this asteroid. There's some big ass thrusters. Okay, that's one way to put it, I suppose. Okay, so
How many baby hats?
How many baby?
let's go ahead and check her out. Maybe open up the hangar bay.
Just one ship, or?
Just one ship, or?
Yeah, the large grid ship is basically just the platform where the smaller ships are launched from.
Yeah, how many babies has it?
Yeah, how many babies has it?
It doesn't have any inside of it.
Okay.
I basically only had one ship left when I took off looking for resources and ended up on the planet. Seems I'm missing a lot of stuff. There used to be all kinds of stuff in here. Huh. Why is the med bay turned off? That's odd. Okay, so yeah, the gravity generator's working. Triple airlock. Okay, there's oxygen. That's fine. Vents. Okay, survival kit. That's off too. Well, that explains a lot. Okay, another oxygen tank. And oh,
Oh, here.
right on. Not quite sure I'm okay with that, but it's a double.
Power?
You got a power?
Well, I think some things are turned off. It just
Okay.
looks a little weird. Okay, this is batteries and thrusters and reactors. That's why I needed.
Someone told me it's that they're hydrogen.
Someone told me it's that they're hydrogen.
Well, these are reactors right here, and then there's the refineries, and then the hydrogen
You know,
thrusters, and then gyros and more hydrogen. That's an odd configuration for landing gear, though.
What is
Uh,
back there?
Yeah, it's. I think somebody made some modifications.
yeah,
I think that
I think that it's
ships
for ships.
Yeah, there's. What an odd configuration.
You think somebody used it?
You think somebody used it?
It it doesn't look like I remembered it looking.
Someone logged into your server?
Someone logged into your server?
I'm not sure about that. It may be that my memory isn't exactly working like it's supposed to.
Looks kind of cool. Slap the
Looks kind of cool. Slap the drive.
It's got 2 jump drives, it seems. What the hell is that down there? It's an odd plate. What the heck? Okay, I don't like that there.
So what's in the front there?
So what's in the front there?
Looks a little better. Oh, that's the. This used to have a bunch of consoles in it.
Front.
I'm in front of it.
That is the front.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more elongated. Because from what I remember, I only had 3 windows. and it came out to about here.
You can place
You
contact.
can,
Yeah, I'm trying to. It just doesn't look right to me. Maybe I built it this way. I don't remember. It doesn't quite look the same to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go K,
Gary.
Gary.
and I'm going to go to the hanger, and I'm going to go open. I realize I'm going to lose a lot of oxygen. But I should.
That's the one that crashed.
That's the one that crashed.
This ship, yeah. Notice there's no drills on it. I'm not sure I made this exactly right.
Well,
Well, Malana.
That is close.
you're off. Close.
You're off. Close.
Kind of surprised that they did
Kind of surprised that they did
the rest.
the rest.
Let's see. Reverse just a little bit. Um,
I
I don't know. Hydrogen.
I know.
30, right?
30.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't do a few.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't do a fuel mix.
Realist sandbox.
Realist
Sandbox.
sandbox.
Outlet.
American Fatal.
They're all just
They're all just.
correct. But yeah, I'm sort of like you think that
So yeah, I'm so like you think that
I'm not.
what
How much oxygen you put into
how much
hot
oxygen you put into hot like
I'd imagine
hydrogen fuel
something
mix.
like
I'd imagine it'd be something like 70-30.
Okay, so
Right?
Get-
70 oxygen, 30 hydro.
70 oxygen, 30 hydro.
yeah.
You wouldn't just burn for hydrogen.
You wouldn't just burn for
It's not
hydrogen.
very efficient.
It's not very efficient.
Actually, that's not true. It's very efficient.
Is it to burn pure hydrogen?
Is it to burn pure hydrogen?
It's very efficient to burn hydrogen. The problem is being able to utilize the hydrogen completely. Because the hydrogen breaks down into water and oxygen.
Well, it's just H2.
Well, it's just H2.
Right, but when you burn it, it becomes H2O.
But you're in space.
But you're in space.
There is an immeasurable amount of hydrogen in space.
I'm just thinking in order to make it burn
I'm just
properly.
thinking in order to make it burn properly.
That's why you need turbines. Mechanical turbines. But once the mechanical turbines got going,
It hasn't.
they generate their own plasma. And because the it works differently in space, they basically become self-perpetuating and losing only minimal amounts of energy over time. So without any modification to this ship, other than not having drills at the moment, it fits in the hangar bay.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, barely.
You think working base
hydrogen
to
working
like
base
turbines generate electricity?
turbines generate
Like
electricity
plasma things? Or
through like plasma things? Or just,
I think the most efficient in space is going to be plasma.
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
But
definitely.
not just pure hydrogen.
But
No.
not just pure hydrogen.
No, but you can collect hydrogen through space, and under pressure, you can ignite the hydrogen and power your electric generators.
Yeah.
Without oxygen?
You're going to create the oxygen when you burn the hydrogen.
How?
That's a natural byproduct of burning hydrogen, is it creates water. And then through like
oxygen.
You have to have oxygen.
You have to have oxygen to create the water.
You have to have oxygen.
no, you need hydrogen. And when you put the hydrogen through electrolysis, it breaks it down.
You're thinking of water.
No,
Thinking of water.
when you burn hydrogen, you're coming out
Where are you getting the oxygen atoms?
Where are you getting the oxygen?
from the hydrogen.
If it's just pure hydrogen, why is
If
there
it's
oxygen?
just pure hydrogen, why is there oxygen?
Because you put the hydrogen under pressure and it ignites the hydrogen. The byproduct of hydrogen is water when you burn it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why
In atmosphere.
I think you're thinking
that's
of
why
the
when you
atmosphere.
look at the hydrogen hybrids, their exhaust is water.
You're talking
You're talking
about
about in atmosphere.
you're talking about in
Because that's
atmosphere
basically
though.
you have
Because
hydrogen
that's
and
basically you have hydrogen
the
and then
it's getting
the
the
atmosphere.
oxygen atoms.
it's getting the oxygen out.
Okay.
The byproduct is H2O.
So
It's
the byproduct is
you're burning
H2O.
hydrogen.
It's pulling. You're
It's
burning
making
hydrogen.
water.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
in the
How
air.
does ice form?
How does that work?
How does ice form in space?
Water.
Water?
Cold.
Cold.
It's a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen molecules. Am I correct?
That's what water is.
What water is?
I understand that. But what else happens in space? Pressure,
Very little. It's not
Very
really
little.
a vacuum. Where?
It's not really a vacuum. Where?
you have positive pressure and negative pressure. They both affect gases differently.
You're still gonna have to get the oxygen atoms.
Still gonna have to get the
Do
oxygen.
you realize how much oxygen there is actually in space?
I mean, it's pretty sparse, isn't it?
I mean, it's pretty.
No. But
It's not hugely
It's
abundant
not
on the planet.
hugely abundant on the
We
planet.
have mostly nitrogen.
We have mostly nitrogen.
everything that is on this planet,
Water.
Most of it's bound.
oxygen, water, it's everywhere else in space, whether in its smallest form or in its condensed form. No matter what substance it is in space.
Yeah, you're right.
You just have to know how to collect it. Okay? You can break down hydrogen by burning it. It doesn't necessarily burn all of it. I believe it makes heavy water. Okay? When you break down the heavy water, that heavy water becomes H2O. instead of H2. And you do that through electrolysis. And it converts one hydrogen atom into an oxygen atom through electrolysis. So if you're already burning the hydrogen to make electrical power, you already have everything that you need to convert the heavy water to regular water, which then
it's debatable.
I think it's debatable.
Why are we using
they have a current machine that does exactly that. It can extract hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and carbon dioxide out of rock.
I understand. So if you're talking about heavy water,
deuterium, it's not actually really hydrogen atom. It's not actually proton, right? It's just
Okay, heavy water has two hydrogen atoms instead of one. Alright, I mean,
deuterium, right?
actually, I got that backwards. I'm getting myself confused.
Yeah, I got confused about that.
I got confused about that.
I do know that when you burn hydrogen, the resulting exhaust is water or heavy water. I can't remember which. But like you said,
You're definitely on some track.
but like you said, that may be an atmosphere. I don't remember if it's in space or not. Okay.
It may be. I don't know if we
I don't know if we are even told.
But I do know that
I know that on the moon there's
quite a lot of atmosphere.
yeah, and if it wasn't for the magnetic field of Earth, the moon wouldn't have ice.
Yeah. So out to the moon it's very much not a vacuum. Like vacuum.
So vacuum
don't apply.
space don't apply. The moon isn't even.
No, it's still a vacuum, but
It's not actually.
it's
not actually
protected by the Earth's magnetic field.
And all the way to the moon.
Oh, it's in the atmosphere.
It's in the atmosphere.
We've known that
They
since
announced that.
1800.
You've known that
It's
since
like very
1800.
basic math
It's like very basic math here.
from the 1800s.
From the 1800s.
Yeah, they just like a couple years ago.
years ago
The moon is actually inside
the moon is actually inside the upper layers.
So there's definitely
There's
more oxygen
definitely more oxygen
quote unquote
in that
space
area, quote
than there
unquote
is
space,
the rest.
than there is the rest.
Who knows?
Theory.
I don't
knows?
pass.
I haven't passed.
There's even more oxygen.
There's even more oxygen past the.
Yeah, I don't know if it's your Discord or mine, but you keep on cutting out.
It's probably mine.
It's probably mine.
Not facing my mic.
Not facing my mic completely.
So my thing, or it could be just Discord.
Or it could be just Discord server ROM.
Okay, so
But
yeah. So heavy water is. Just has one nucleus.
yes,
Believe it. That's how heavy
Believe
water
it.
works.
That's how heavy water works.
And I do know that there is.
Do you use
propulsion
oxygen
fuel for space.
propulsion fuel for
Hydrogen
space?
mix. I don't know what that is.
Hydrogen mix. I don't know what that is. Or what the oxygen.
I think
I'm
it's
also aware that you can
I think it's 12 to 1.
burn pure hydrogen out of
water.
Yeah, for fuel, I think it's 12 to 1, maybe 13 to 1.
Yes. That maybe we don't need the liquid oxygen.
the liquid oxygen.
I don't really know.
I don't really know.
I do think that Elon Musk is methane.
Methane. So
Who knows if that?
Well, now we know why they want to eliminate cows, and they want to eliminate cow farts.
Yeah. To
have the cow parts. They want
have the cow parts. They want cow.
No, they don't want cows in space.
I don't.
So they're telling everybody to move over.
I mean,
I didn't work in the rocket.
I didn't work.
Oh, come on, that was funny.
Probably
It was probably
it
more
was
about that
probably
stuff about it.
more about that stuff by
thousand
like
times.
1,000
I
times.
really
I
kind of
really
asked.
I'm kind of asking.
Okay, so
Getting burnt.
why
Getting burnt, hydrogen,
Water.
space,
why is that blown
water,
off?
Mission.
fishing.
Okay, that block's back on. So why? So if that survival kit was off, that means that this might be off too. Why would somebody turn off the medical bay? Okay. Do I still have ownership? Mining platform. Control panel. Yeah. Do I have ownership to everything? Double check to make sure. Yeah, it says I got ownership. No share. Okay. So, okay. So there are a lot of hydrogen thrusters on this thing. And there's a whole lot.
So I think what the
Confusion that be
the difference between dihydrogen
difference between dihydrogen. Right.
That just made me think of dihydrogen chloride for some reason.
And the funny thing is, in dihydrogen, there's some heavy water in dihydrogen.
There's some heavy water in dihydrogen.
Think for all of the hydrogen, it's like a small percentage
heavy water.
So it's mixed in.
It's mixed in.
I've gotten confused about that before. Myself, and I discussed it with people. Where I was confused about what heavy water was.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's got an extra proton.
Got an extra proton
Opposed to an extra
nucleus like dihydrogen.
Okay, all thrusters seem to be working. This just looks different than I remember.
I think it'd be pretty neat if we could. Get something like Star Trek has. That's completely doable.
I think that's completely doable.
We're doing it
I just don't think that we're doing it proper.
Oh, I've got a number. I've got a number of ships that are very Star Trek-esque.
You could get
deuterium
with
reactor going.
you have like a primary
With like a
reactor,
you have like a primary reactor and like tertiary power source.
Yeah, you have.
Your
There are mods that have Star
power.
Trek reactors and
Infinite power.
Star Trek phasers and photon torpedoes of different kinds, different types. You have different technologies that are both tiered and not tiered. And even some of them are designed to work with weapon core and modular encounters.
I'm talking about real life.
I'm talking about
We
real
have
life.
one. I think we have maybe
We
a
have
couple
one.
of them. In the
I think
United
we have maybe a couple of them in the United
Giant
States.
laser arrays.
Giant laser arrays.
Yeah, they're chemical lasers.
I don't know exactly what kind of lasers they are.
I don't know exactly what kind of
produce
lasers
more
they are, but I know that we produce more
than the entire country uses.
than the entire country
the whole
uses
planet.
years, more than the whole planet.
Time you do that thing, it takes a good amount of energy.
Do that thing, but it takes a good amount of energy.
Use it, and we lose so much energy from it that it ends up not being like it's not.
That it ends up not being like it's not profitable to run it, not drink.
It would burn down our power.
It would burn down our power system.
Maybe you know what I'm talking about.
Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Labs or whatever.
There's more than a couple. There's a couple.
There's more than a couple. There's a couple of them.
Well, they have a couple of different types of lasers. They have the land-based nuclear powered lasers that conceivably it could use all the power on the planet and still not use as much power as it needed. Then you have the chemical based ones that the Air Force uses for shooting down missiles and satellites.
Okay. Look at that.
Okay.
Kind of.
Look at that. Kind
of curious. I want.
Rough point.
And we have liftoff.
We're off top.
Okay, I see. Cool laser.
Okay, I see.
Department defense.
Cool laser department defense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
Not exactly talking.
Not exactly talking.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah,
I can't
believe I forgot. The National Ignition Liver, California.
That's what it is.
And then,
That's one of the places.
of course, there's the fission and fusion engines and the real hyperdrives.
Yeah.
And the plasma drives. And the ion drives, which are a real thing.
So that's definitely what I'm talking about. It's the
National Ignition Facility, sort of near you, actually.
That Lawrence Livermore.
Yeah.
Livermore.
Yeah, that's where they're doing the. Tyrium.
Yeah, I used to be a part of that world.
Neutron.
Okay, so here's the big ship. In all its splendor. It's a very unique design, I think.
Yeah, I think it's flying somewhere.
Flying somewhere.
And it's maneuverable, but it's not a fighter craft. But it does have quite a bit of defenses.
So,
do you think it's true that the main reason we're not doing advanced space travel,
lack the ability, proper fueling?
Yard. Double.
Personally, I think it's politics.
Yeah, you think it's politics?
Yeah, you think it's me to
Because
fly.
because I'm aware of a Dutch corporation that basically makes flying saucers that defy the laws of normal physics.
No, they don't. They don't defy normal physics. They just use different physics.
Well, they just well they just they
Because
but,
you
but,
you there is actually more than one kind of physics, and depending on your school of thought, it could be string theory, it could be quantum physics.
yeah, like torsion field physics. Yeah, like torsion field physics.
I happen to be a firm believer.
Even classified as pseudoscience.
I happen to be a firm believer that when you have a tool and there's more than one way to use that tool, that in itself is a new science. Or an old one. And you can't really discount one or the other because everything has its proper place and time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, like classical physics. Like classical
Yeah.
physics for explaining various physics. For explaining
But the absolute
quantum
truth,
physics to explain quantum physics to explain ball rolling.
but the absolute truth of everything is you have yes and no, positive and negative, yin yang kind of thing. You have a time when things work, a time when things don't work. You have a time when the right tool for the job is not necessarily the tool that you think it is.
I think it's more than that, actually.
Well, it's a lot more than that. But this is just an oversimplified facet that people, they'll get locked into this is the way things are. And me, I'm saying, okay, that might be the way things are under these circumstances, but what about if these circumstances change or this one changes? What then?
Yeah, I think you get beyond Boolean observer, find out that there's definitely trinary third act operating system operating more than just like false or good or bad, everything like dualist world. But aside from it's actually more than trinary. There's like trinary.
I have a phrase that I use to describe it.
It's like four-sided aspect of logic.
I call it non-conventional thought.
To put it in terms. Yeah.
Okay? Now, you have conventional thought, which is your typical logic. You know, if this isn't true and this isn't true, this must be true kind of thing. Okay?
Oh, this is conventional logic, actually. It's definitely tetraline. It's actually tetraline.
Okay, but
It's the four-pronged logic.
unconventional logic is like, for example, okay, when does 1 plus 1 not equal 2? When is 1 plus 1 less than or greater than the sum of its parts? What condition would allow me to add, but ultimately it takes away? Okay? That's what I mean by unconventional.
Yeah.
Okay? So when do you change form of matter or energy? At what point does it become something other than what it was? At that moment, that's where you find the greatest source of perpetual power or energy.
I'm thinking about it a little bit more
I'm thinking about it a little bit more philosophically, but I think
Well, it is very philosophical. Okay, but I can sum it up in a little simpler. What's more powerful?
well, maybe I'm thinking.
What's more powerful and what has greater energy or greater potential energy? Something or nothing?
Depends on what kind of nothing you're talking.
Depends on what kind
Nope.
of nothing you're talking.
Talking about nothing the thing, or
Talking about
I'm
nothing
talking an absolute, as in nothing, as in the cessation of everything, nothing exists, or everything as everything that is, was, and has been.
Something beyond your comprehension.
so there's a difference.
Because there's a
between
difference
something you can think of,
between something you think of,
right?
Nope.
right?
I'm talking about the finite in either direction.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about that. Or with the
That's yeah.
that's yeah.
Dude, that's working.
Dude, that's working.
Okay? Now, from my perspective, the greatest potential is nothing. Because out of nothing comes everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
from everything, or the reduction of everything, comes nothing. So, which has greater potential? Turning something into nothing and then having everything left over to start over again, or starting from nothing to create everything? How's that for a philosophical argument?
I think it's okay.
I think it's okay. I
Also,
think there's
we can't say anything about.
also what we can't say anything about.
Give me 1 second. Hello? Okay, another one in spam colors. These are also the kind of conversations my dad and I had.
So you have your ship.
So you have your ship basically here,
and that's something.
And that's something
That exists.
That
Then
exists.
you are.
Then you
You
are
have
actor
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 of
space.
all of there's also other aspects.
There's also other aspects.
Right, but then you think about it. Now, the ship exists within the dimensional space of this particular computer program, which exists inside of the computer memory and blah, 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 blah. Okay? But it's actually just energy. It does not truly exist.
Yeah, it's an electron.
However, I exist. I am tangible. But I am still ultimately just energy. So, how is it that I'm any different than the ship in the game that I created?
Number of ways.
Number of
Oh,
ways.
You said it yourself.
You said it yourself.
did I now?
Yeah, when you're driving.
Yeah, when you're driving.
There's that argument about the id. Okay, I think therefore I am kind of thing.
That's the reverse of what you said.
That's the reverse of what you said.
No, not reverse. Opposite.
You just no, yeah.
You just
Okay.
Opposite,
yeah.
the other direction.
Opposite
It's-
direction.
Interplay.
That's
Well,
right.
Up, down.
That's because both arguments are valid, but not at the same time. They can't be. That would create a paradox. And from my perspective, from my
outside.
perspective, the ultimate form of a paradox is a black hole.
So you have time and space.
So you have time and space, right? Operating.
But then outside of that,
Space.
You have time
Space.
and space, and then you have space time.
yeah, space time is really
Yeah.
all.
Space-time is really all. Time is
Time actually does not exist. It is a man made creation as measurement
Yeah.
to denote the passage of time.
it's just
Rated. Far as
rated.
Okay? So,
you have space
So
time.
you have space-time, but then
outside
outside
of space.
of space for every
More.
do you actually know what space time is?
you can't really any
Do I know what
Do you actually know what space time is?
made of? What it
From my understanding, space time is the measurement of the expansion of the universe and the space in between.
do you do it?
do it.
Because that's the only way that the measurement of time can make any sense in an atomic structure.
What if space time was the measure of?
What if space-time was the measure of you?
Then it wouldn't make any sense.
Not evolve?
Not evolve?
Time? Space?
It would be too consistent. There wouldn't be room for chaos.
Well, once space time.
Until space-time is
Set.
set.
But it's not because of chaos.
Aren't you something?
Okay.
Chaos expansion?
If everything was absolutely consistent, nothing would ever change.
Yeah, I'm not talking.
Right, but it's the side effects of chaos. Even if it's just one atom in a chaotic state. The outcome of that chaotic nature of that one atom reverberates through the entire cosmos.
Do you know that the planets, Earth-centered orbit planet, flower orbit pattern?
Flower pattern.
I only caught like every other word.
Oh, did you know if you do a Earth-centric orbit of the planets in the sun, you get the flower of life pattern?
You get the flower of life pattern?
I think that they established the flower of life pattern knowing that. I think they've known about the stars way before our current recorded history.
Yeah.
I think the human race is a whole lot older than they realize.
You take the little atomic symbol there of electron
symbol
orbiting,
there
you
of
also
electron orbiting. You also end
as
up
you
getting
expand flower of
as you
life
expand
pattern as well.
flower of life pattern.
Mayans came up with the same thing with their cyclical cycles.
Yeah, I mean that pattern's all.
Yeah, I mean that pattern's all okay. Back on the house.
And how do you think that happened? From even back in the Sumerian times, there was a shared knowledge by everybody on the planet. Everybody has their own versions of the same stories. That only happens with shared knowledge and shared understanding.
Yeah, if you study nature,
nature, you look at
how molecules
how
behave, or how
molecules behave, or how cells behave, working atomic
system,
look
or galaxies,
galaxies, eventually you end pattern.
It's one of the reasons why I mentioned to you about genetic memory, about DNA memory.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, everyone that came before us, all their knowledge, all their memories, all their experiences are encoded in our DNA. It's learning how to access that information that's locked away that we lost. We've forgotten how to because it became no longer necessary for us to access that information. Humans and humankind used to have much, much longer lifespan.
Thousands.
Yes, tens of thousands of years. But we had more oxygen. Everything was bigger. And we had more capacity. But as the Earth ages, oxygen levels dwindle and it starts to die just like anything else. And humans evolve to cope with their environment. But because we recognize as a species what's headed our way, we're evolving to become a space-faring entity. And this is all part of the evolution and the cyclical nature of life and death. We will either survive or we will not. It makes no difference one way or the other to the universe. But it makes all the difference to the world, to humans as a species.
small number of them. Maybe like on a primitive level.
No, we're programmed that way. It's part of our nature. Bio break. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Now that I'm in the big ship, I don't quite know what to do from here. um, yeah. Hmm. I suppose I could try to go to Mars. If I can find it. So, there it is. Okay. So, what a bizarre looking ship. Hmm. Okay, maybe not the best design in the whole world. Very odd looking. Quite vulnerable. But let's go G. Oops. Here's junk. Thrusters off. Blocks. Jump. Jump. Is that the
Biggest problem with space.
biggest problem with space.
Uh,
That
The biggest problem with space engineers is what?
oh, scheduling. You got all these different
oh,
people with
scheduling.
great ideas.
You got all these different people with great ideas.
The other people sort of want to do this.
And the other people sort of want to do this.
Mostly not on the scene. I should say with the. I want to say more
community.
players.
And I want to say more players
Just sort of spirals out.
sort of spirals out.
There's so many different.
There's so many different.
Yeah, you can get inundated with ideas.
Not just that.
Not just that.
Like for example,
Servers.
say
Like,
I'm
say I'm playing your server. I love doing. Oh, sorry. Turn. How's
Most
most of the time?
You might want to turn up your mic sensitivity.
Oh, can you hear me okay, or am I?
Oh, can you?
You're,
feel
I'm
your-
getting maybe every other word, every other second word.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Well, I was just talking about the laws of economics.
Oh, nothing important, nothing that requires a lot of attention.
Yeah, pretty much not.
Yeah, pretty much not.
You got planet.
You got a planet.
Some that planet.
Some that
All
planet.
mass around.
All mass
Really
around.
don't fly.
Really don't fly.
Mass.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the alien planet or Mars.
Tiny little rock. sort of works that way.
Mass builds on itself.
Mass builds on
Gravity.
itself. Gravity.
Right?
Yeah, mass
Right.
attracts mass, energy attracts energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like forces attract, opposites repel.
Reversed.
Reversed.
Right?
Well, you get gravity
Magnet.
when you have opposites that are repelling each other. That creates gravity.
Magnet.
Yep.
Magnet.
Sort of opposite.
Sort of opposite.
Get nailing.
Get
Track.
nailing. Track.
They're opposite. It goes
They're
both
opposite. It goes both ways.
I think it can. I don't think it always does, but it can.
No, always.
No, it always.
Silver, nickel, platinum.
Time not on my
Time not on my
watch.
watch.
Or
Or
in your ship.
in your ship.
I think you can go to bed or
I think you can go to bed or
I'm actually considering doing exactly that.
yeah, your bed is
Yeah, it's starting to make me fumble headed.
yeah, I got the bed the earlier class.
I got that the earlier class.
I feel tired.
I feel
I
tired.
think I might go to bed. It's almost
I think I might go to bed. It's almost 12.
Yeah, I think I may just join you.
Probably
Well,
broke my-
in sleeping, not necessarily joining you. It's never mind.
I get what you.
I get what you.
Alrighty, you have a good one. I'll see you next time.
See you later.
Later.
See you